Good evening. I'm going to call the September 12th, 2023 Finance meeting to order. I am present, Councilmember Brennan, Councilmember De La Rada, Councilmember McPartlin, Councilmember Moskowitz, Town Attorney Finnan, Town Comptroller Elizabeth Greenwood, Assistant to the Comptroller Janet Wynn. We have Seth Goldstein, Lieutenant Frenier, Diane Percy, Lori Peretti, Laura Robertson, Ray Smith, Matt Yetto, and Ted Remsnyder from the Gazette. All right, may I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the August 8th, 2023 Finance meeting?
Motion to approve the minutes from the August 8th Finance meeting.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any changes to those minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, those minutes are approved, and we will move on to items for action.
Okay, the first item is a resolution to call for a public hearing to consolidate the town drainage districts and the storm sewers into a consolidated storm water management district. We'll need to have a public hearing for that. Matt's working currently to produce the maps of all the assorted districts that would then go into that overall district, as well as the storm sewers out of the A fund, which cover most of the town as well. What we're looking to do here, we started this conversation a while ago and we discussed it at the committee last week. We currently have 26 different drainage districts and a section for storm sewers in the general fund because we're looking at everything in very kind of isolated pockets, both in terms of the administration and the funding of these things. It's making it more difficult to consider our stormwater management in a holistic fashion. We're starting to see a lot more difficulties with managing the storm water. I think we've seen that from a number of our residents that we're having just more rain than we've had in the past. That looks like it's going to continue being a problem. So putting these all together makes better sense in terms of the administration and the finance portion of it, but also will allow for just considering all of stormwater holistically and looking at it as a singular system rather than as multiple different little pieces. So that's what we're looking to accomplish with this. The next item is a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign an MOA. This is tentative right now and may get pushed to next month. This is in order to support the changing of the payroll timing that we've been discussing for a bit over a year now. We sent out the draft MOA to all the different unions. We've gotten some comments back, but not all of them, and we're just fine tuning those details. The next is a resolution to dispose of a non-working scanner in the planning department. A resolution to set meal reimbursement rates for town officials and employees. Somehow we just had missed this at the beginning of the year and we need to catch it up. And we're looking for finance approval on several items, the first of which is to pay the annual Sims invoice to Schenectady County. That's going to be $5,500.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
We have to vote on this.
Yes, I know. Does anybody have any questions about this? All right. All those in favor of approval to pay the annual Sims invoice to Schenectady County, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that is approved.
Thank you. The next finance approval, it would be to pay the annual Tyler Technologies bill, which will be $6,000. Oh, that's an interesting. There's a typo in there. It's a bit over $6,000. I'm not sure what number we're missing. I apologize.
So this is for our annual service. They call it TSM, on-site support. It's not for the software itself. It's for our annual support.
You don't remember which?
I think it's 667.
We can just do not to exceed 7,000 to cover it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not sure how we dropped a number there. I apologize.
Okay, does anyone have any questions?
I'm sorry, how much was the final figure?
Not to exceed 7,000.
Thank you.
All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the approval to pay the annual Tyler Technology bill not to exceed $7,000 is passed.
Okay, the next item is finance approval to purchase parts for the leaf machine. This is not to exceed $10,000.
Any questions? All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, the approval to purchase parts for the leaf machine not to exceed $10,000 is approved.
The next is the discussion items regarding budgetary modifications. There's nothing out of the ordinary expected this month, just starting to shift money around now that we're getting into the last portion of the year. And the final discussion item was we've started discussions. I spoke briefly with Ray about this already, and the supervisor has been, I know, starting to work with the VFW on this, restarting the memorial brick program for the town's Veterans Memorial out front. We'll be working on the process of how that'll be managed in terms of who's taking in the funds and how we're actually getting the bricks purchased and properly engraved and then placed in. And we'll be working all those details out.
Do you know if all the bricks were purchased that were paid for? I feel like sometimes that program, as you know, got a little, who was responsible, right? And sometimes, people would come in and say, did I get my brick yet? That they may have paid for.
So the bricks were all paid for, but not all of the work had been paid for. There was a minor oversight. We did collect a majority of the money, but bricks were paid for in advance, just like we do with the memorial benches.
Mhm.
So they were paid for in advance. The problem with the bricks at the time was we were only allowed to order, we couldn't order one brick. We had to wait until we had like an order of 10 or 15 or 20. And I think that's probably going to be the case this time. So it needs to be made clear to the residents that, we can't order one brick at a time. The manufacturer just doesn't do that for us. But all the bricks were paid for.
And the ones that were paid for, did they actually get them because of those delays of them not having?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
not having enough quantity or that.
No, we don't have anything outstanding. In fact, I think our last order was like 3 bricks. The town paid a little bit extra to get those last 3 bricks in when the program ended.
Okay, so maybe we should look into that, at least have an idea of what, right, if it, because we don't want people to wait too long, right?
Correct. I agree.
If it's, 3 bricks or 5 bricks so that we can, get them somewhat on.
Right. And I think there was a shipping issue. Did we have a shipping issue as well? Ray? Yeah. So there was a shipping issue as well. When it started getting close to COVID, when COVID hit, we had a shipping issue and, they were trying to charge more for shipping. They would only ship so many at a time.
Okay, good. No, I'm glad to see that we're doing that because I think people want to continue to do that and we've got lots of space out there, so.
And to clarify, it's the American Legion we're working with,
Oh,
and
I'm
I'm working with the president, Mr. Thomas McGarry, and we're meeting on Thursday to talk through some of the details of restarting this program and just making sure we have the process in place to avoid any of these issues that may have happened in the past.
Yeah, and they were instrumental in, when we started the whole thing, the whole memorial. So that's great that we're re-engaging in this.
Yes. And not only are we re-engaging in this, we're also meeting to discuss how we'll honor Veterans Day, and also looking into the banners for veterans and active duty in town. So I'll be working with Mr. McGarry on that as well. So we've got some new things that are in the works.
Okay, and that was all that we had for the finance agenda this evening.
Is there anything that needs to be added from the floor? All right. If that is all we have for tonight's finance meeting agenda, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second,
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, we stand adjourned and we'll begin our agenda committee meeting at 7 p.m.